In episode 523, Ryan and Jose go over some Hellraiser and book release news. This is the Clive Barker Podcast, where longtime fans, Ryan and Jose, interview guests, bring you the news, and take deep dives into Barker-related stuff. This episode will be available in podcast audio and YouTube video. This episode is sponsored by Don Bertram's Celebrate Imagination. Don Bertram is a longtime friend of Clive and advocate of his art. But Don's unique and inspiring paintings are for sale, and over 50% of the proceeds go to the Arts and Medicine program at the Texas Children's Cancer Center. There's even a paver in Washington, D.C. representing Celebrate Imagination. We're thrilled that this worthy cause is sponsoring our podcast again this year, and we hope that you'll consider looking over his Pinterest page and commissioning a painting of your own. For commissions, Don requires no money down, and there will be no obligation on your part. You can also head over to the Etsy shop to buy one of his books, like A Chimney Sweep's Tale, Celebrate Imagination, or The Imaginaries. Follow the link in the show notes, or click on the side banner, and let's see what's new with Don Bertram today. Take a look at his most recent paintings, Shooting Star, The Alarm Clock, and Father and Son 3. Let's welcome our other sponsor, Ed Martinez, and his YouTube channel. Lots of great special effects videos and Barker-related content. What's the latest from Ed? We have a new sponsor. It's the Now Playing Podcast. Arnie, Stuart, Justin, Marjorie, and Brock host a long-running movie review podcast and have a comprehensive blog with book reviews. Check out this one on the Hellbound Heart. They've even written a book on underrated movies. They started in 2007, but the podcast really took off when they began doing movie retrospective series in 2009, like when they did Friday the 13th or all the Stephen King movies. They've even covered Clive Barker movies in some Patreon exclusive episodes. Please check out the Now Playing Podcast, and if you love it like we do, you might want to help out their donation drive. Here's their most recent stuff. Movies most currently reviewed are The Fencer, 28 Years Later, and Return to Silent Hill. Well, welcome to the Clive Barker Podcast, episode 523. And good evening, Jose. How's it going?
Hey, I'm doing good. I'm a little snowed in Cleveland. We just had a big snowstorm, and yesterday we had a big squall. It dumped a whole ton of snow onto my driveway that I had to shovel out today. I'm sure for you, that's a daily thing. For me, it's like not.
We have a snowblower. It's
that's
we
good.
use those more than a lawnmower, it seems like.
I can't imagine in Alaska people would shovel their driveway with an actual hand shovel.
Well, I mean, I did it when I was younger, but I don't want to do that anymore.
Right.
Yeah.
I had snow up to my knees when I got out of the house. It was kind of nuts. Wow. And when I used my car the other day, I had to crash land into my driveway into the snow and leave it halfway up my driveway because I couldn't go any further.
Wow.
Because when I came back on Sunday, that's when it was falling a lot of snow. So I had to park my car halfway up my driveway, shuffle through the snow.
Yeah.
Now I know what it's like when you go to your studio to do the podcast.
Oh, yeah. Well,
Except it wasn't 32 negative.
I've kept a path cleared to the studio. So every weekend or so, I do some more snow blowing to make a path in there.
Today, my car looked like the burrito that you forgot in the back of your freezer drawer.
Oh, okay.
It's all frosted and full of snow. You know how the snow falls when there's wind, and then all of a sudden one side of your car has almost no snow, but the other side has all that snow turning into ice that kind of. It's just, terrible. I have to crack that and scrape all that ice out of the car. My point is I'm cold.
Okay. Yeah. Well, here it's actually really warm. It's 5 degrees above zero.
Really warm.
Yeah. It's I wore a t-shirt over here.
Well, sure. But you're inside and you got heating in there, right?
Yeah, but I wore a t-shirt from the house to the studio.
You got that Alaska spirit, I guess. You're used to it. I'm not. I walk through the snow a little bit and my face gets all red and my hands get all scaly and itchy and dry. And it's I hate it.
I don't like
There's more things to be worried about in this country than just the snow or the snowstorm.
Well, that's true. this is a news episode, and did we miss last week or did we miss a week before? I think we missed last week.
Yeah, last week we took some time because we're going through some stuff and we needed some time to do stuff.
Yeah, and we might be doing that some more. So we were talking about it, and I think we might be switching to every other week. If some more exciting Clive Barker stuff comes along, we might reserve the right to go back to weekly. But I think for right now, every other week is pretty good.
I think so. I've been kind of pestering you to
Yeah,
do that every once in a while.
and I'm working overtime every single day, and I worked all weekend last weekend. And
There you go.
so it's tough to put stuff together for this. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, and my work being throughout the whole weekend, Friday through Sunday, forces us now to do this on weekdays. And you're coming home from work. You just got home from work. You're tired. It's 10 p.m. for me, and I really
yeah,
should be going to bed soon because I'm going to start working at 3 in the morning. So I got to start going to sleep at 6 in the afternoon
yeah,
so I can wake up at 1:30 in the morning so I can get to
yeah.
work.
Yeah, it's not ideal. It's a tough schedule to try to figure out because we also have a 4 hour time difference.
Yeah, it sucks.
Yeah.
But
But
we're
this is
still
a
here.
news episode. Yeah. We haven't done a news episode in a while, so some stuff started building up that we wanted to talk about. So I put this one up on top first because everything else seems to be kind of Hellraiser related. So I wanted to put the one that's not Hellraiser first. But Suntup, who made the Imagica book and the Hellbound Heart, asked what Clive Barker books should we do next, and they gave us two choices. So they said the Midnight Meat Train or the Thief of Always or another. So I guess it's kind of open to. But those two choices, I have problems with both of them. I mean, The Midnight Meat Train is not a book, it's a short story. It had a special edition from Dark Regions Press, while rest in peace, I guess, to Dark Regions Press. But they made a special edition of that book. And then The Thief of Always had a really, really awesome special edition from Seraphim, Clive's company.
Seraphim Inc. That's right. That's
Yeah.
almost like a definitive version. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not going to presume that to say
This
that
one right here.
Suntup doesn't. Oh yeah, look at that.
Or wait,
That's
no, that's
great.
Weaverall. It's this one.
Oh,
Yeah.
pointing at mine
Yeah.
too, right next to the bong.
Oh, there we go.
Uh, anyway, yeah, that one right there.
Yeah.
That's really good.
And this is on Suntup's site. So it like we've talked about this before, they're kind of more like these it seems like the people responding are more like Suntup fans than Clive Barker fans, but
I,
people are yelling out, "Oh, Great and Secret Show, Weave World."
I see a few names
And
that I recognize from my friend list here on the comments. Raphael and Richard. Raphael says Weave World. Richard says Damnation Game. Wow, that's a good choice. Because I don't think there's ever been like a deluxe edition of the Damnation Game, has there?
if there is, I'm not super familiar with it.
Oh, and then there's the people that say the Books of Blood. I mean, the Suntup Books of Blood would have
Yeah,
to be a
there's six.
really big volume.
Yeah, well, there's 6 volumes of that, so it would be because your Stealth Press book is huge.
Mhm.
Yeah, and any
What
other
would you
book
like
that's
to
ever
see?
collected all 6 books has been huge.
Yeah. There's a lot of people
Damnation
saying
Game
Books
was
of
good.
Blood. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd like to see a smaller book like Mister Be Gone. I think would be kind of fun. It could have like burnt edges on it and stuff,
Hmm.
and like an embossed devil face, on the front. And I don't know.
And then some people are putting down suggestions that are also not books. Like someone here is saying In the Hills, the Cities, or Heckle's Tale. Heckle's Tale really is a more of a screenplay, isn't it?
Well, it's
I
also a
think.
short story. It's
Okay,
in
okay.
Dark Delicacies, the book.
But it's very short, so I don't
Yeah,
see why how Suntup would turn that short story into a book.
yeah.
Uh, I'm gonna go with Damnation Game or Sacrament. I think
Oh
Sacrament
yeah.
hasn't had a lot of love, and it's a book that I feel is underrated in the Clive Barker
Sacrament
bibliography.
would be good. Yeah. Why don't they
Something that
have? They should
hasn't been
just
done by
ask
small
us.
press.
They should
Right.
just ask us, even though we've never bought any of their books.
Well, they got an open question and there's like 141 comments. So I think we should probably leave our own comments here as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to do that right now.
Yeah,
I'm going to
I'm gonna
say
say I'm gonna say Mr. Be Gone.
Sacrament. So that's interesting. I mean, the Hellbound Heart Suntup edition is really beautiful, and especially the super rare deluxe one that they have that's thousands of
Yeah,
dollars that has that wooden cover that's almost like a
yeah.
puzzle. That's
I
amazing. I've never
reposted
seen a
this
book like that.
into Occupy Midian, and the responses were pretty negative from our Occupy Midian people.
Was it?
One person said always love the Thief of Always, but other people are like, they just want new books.
Mm. Oh yeah,
On
of
and
course.
Stefania said maybe it's an unpopular opinion, but I do something less known like Chiliad, Tonight Again, or Maximilian Bacchus.
Oh yeah, that's a great choice. I'm going to edit my comment to Maximilian Bacchus and his traveling circus.
Well, but there. I mean, the only book there is for Maximilian Bacchus is already a special collector's edition. So I like it. I think it pretty much just came with a tray case.
Yeah, but it's not as impressive as the other Suntup editions, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, it's not a huge book.
I'm a little ambivalent. You wrote here on Occupy Midian, like Suntup editions are gorgeous, but I can't afford them, which
Yeah.
is a problem.
Yes.
um, but I'm ambivalent. I would like to see those beautiful stories be put in a beautiful edition, but I would also like to see new books coming from Clive. So,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah. Well, and that's not something that people say I'd rather have a new book. It's like, well, that's not something Suntup can do for you.
I just changed mine from Sacrament to Maximilian Bacchus. There.
Oh, okay. There we go.
Uh,
Yeah. So
yeah,
I thought that was kind of a fun discussion type of thing.
it was. Yeah. I don't know
So
when this book would come out if they are to put out another one, but maybe next year, this
yeah,
year.
maybe.
They
Well,
take a
and
while to make.
yeah, maybe Clive Barker books are their most popular ones. They seem to sell out pretty fast.
That's right. Imagica sold out on the same day, right?
Yeah.
The
Yeah, you take
the
the time to
$200
like
edition.
you take the time to gather up your money and try to figure out if you can afford it, and then it's already gone.
Yep, it's gone.
Yeah.
Now, you know what's not gone? There's more new stuff coming out from Trick or Treat Studios, and it's
Oh
Hellraiser
yeah.
related. How's that for a segue?
Yeah. Yeah. You know what's not gone? Yeah, because they're
Yeah.
not even. I don't think they're out yet, right? Or they
Oh,
are.
they
No,
are.
they're
Yeah.
they're on their website.
Yeah, they're
Yeah,
on the
Trick or Treat
website.
Studios Hellraiser masks. So I think I'm trying to remember. I'll just click on the link so I don't say something wrong. But it was Pinhead, Chatterer, and Butterball.
That's
And
right. And they also have a couple other things. They also have a Dr. Chenard mask
oh yeah,
and a Hellraiser Pinhead retro mask, which is just a vacuum formed
yeah,
plastic one that you can just put in front of your face.
yeah, like those ones that you had in the '80s as a kid and you should have like a plastic shirt that says Hellraiser on it.
Oh, you're talking about those that particular brand of toy
Yeah, the
Halloween costumes, right?
the Dawn Post or whatever they're yeah.
Yeah. And then they're also selling a purse shaped like the Hellraiser Lament configuration.
Yeah.
That's a new thing. So the prices
Yeah.
on these things are okay. The Lament
Like
configuration
eighty
bag is
dollars. Yeah.
yeah, 69.99. The masks are at 79.99, except for Butterball. That's $10 cheaper than Chatter and Pinhead, and
Yeah,
I
what's the
don't know
deal with
why.
that? Yeah. Maybe because it doesn't have as much color, it doesn't have black on it.
Yeah, that's true. It's not a so the Pinhead one has that big, thick, like neck thing that Pinhead
Yeah.
has. The Chatter one has a little bit of the costume, not up to the shoulders, but just a little bit
Yeah.
below the neck, so you can see the neck
Yeah.
wound on Chatterer's neck, and then you see a little bit of his costume. I don't know how that would meld with whatever
Yeah.
costume you want to put on the mask. You'd have to
Yeah.
probably put that underneath your actual costume.
Yeah. You'd have to make something with leather and stuff.
Yeah, and then the
Well, and then
Butterball
the gloves, right?
is
Like Pinhead's gloves are like this, right? So like certain fingers are out.
yeah.
And Chatterer his like every other finger.
Oh, I never noticed that. I'll have to look
Yeah.
closer. The Butterball one doesn't have a particular neck because it's Butterball, and it also doesn't have any other costume or collar under
Yeah.
the folds of the neck. The Dr. Chenard mask, I don't know. It looks a little different from the other ones. I don't want to trash talk it, but definitely got a lot of wrinkles on that Dr. Chenard.
Yeah, it does.
And when you take Dr. Chenard away from the tentacle, the stuff on top of his head just becomes kind of random and weird, right? Because you don't know what that's supposed to be.
Oh.
You see those
Yeah, yeah,
tentacles?
right.
Yeah, it's
Right.
like, is that a weird hair or something? In case someone doesn't know, Dr. Chenard, of course,
Right,
but
that's true. Yeah, it has the a starfish on his head is what it looks like
yeah, yeah.
without the
A-
tentacle.
And the Pinhead retro mask, it's funny. It's kind of a funny.
Yeah.
I might get this one for starters because it's definitely, you can hang this on a wall, you can put it on a shelf, you can actually
Well,
use
that's
it.
true. Yeah.
And that
I
one
don't
is
know if I would buy
1999.
so I wonder, is that lament configuration, is it just made out of a block of wood with brass faces on it?
Yeah, they've had this one for a while. So this is not new. It's been on Trick or Treat Studios
Yeah.
for a while. It's made out of solid redwood with metal
Okay.
etched panels, just like
There
the
was
prop used in
somebody
the
that
film.
made a box like that a long time ago, and the metal etched panels would like sort of fold up, and they had little spines on them, and then you'd get
Mhm.
metal slivers with it and stuff. And I had that one, and I hated it.
Yeah, that happens. The panels, the wood stretches, expands, and contracts. And so if the glue or the
Yeah,
epoxy on the panels wasn't that good, the panels would
yeah,
start lifting. Yeah. I don't
yeah.
know
I
if
don't
this
know if
one
that.
avoids
I'm
that.
not saying that this one would be like that, but I know that that one that I had, I can't remember who made that now. So
Yeah,
there used to
probably
be
one of
the
those bootleg box makers.
No, well, I don't think so. It was one that you could. It was like a regular mainstream one that you could buy. So there was
Oh, the
the
Nika
stupid
one.
plastic. It was the yeah, I think it was the Nika one because there was also the stupid mystery box that had the plastic panels that you would assemble. I had that one
F-
too, and I dropped it on the floor and it exploded.
For the longest time, I thought that's cheap and I'm not going to buy that. And now I can't find it anywhere now that I'm actually interested in getting the mystery
Yeah,
box.
well, because
It used to come
nobody's
in a
going to
little
sell it used because they
bag.
probably all dropped it on the floor and it exploded.
Probably. I don't know how
Yeah,
many are still around.
yeah.
But I remember one time you can give those away. They were
Yeah,
cheap
they were like $10 in a little plastic bag hanging on a hook at a comic
Yeah,
store or
with a
whatever.
little
Yeah.
cardboard thing stapled to the top saying Hellraiser mystery box.
Yeah, exactly. Which is hokey, right? I mean, I guess they called it mystery box because nobody said lament configuration in 1987. That came later.
Right. The Hellraiser pinhead mask says here was sculpted by Alexander Ray. And it looks pretty good. It looks like it's
It
got a lot
does.
of
It looks
detail,
really
right?
good. Yeah, and I love the kind of blue around the eyes and stuff and the pale skin.
It
And the
reminds me of the
nails are
Hellbound
big.
pinhead. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that's right. It does kind of look like Hellbound.
And even in the back, you see that collar has that flap of leather that goes on the back of his head with the hooks. So there's a
Oh,
lot of
if you
detail
click
on
on it,
this.
you can turn it around.
And
Oh
the
yeah, that's
Chatter
cool.
one has the same thing also. Very complete. It's got the
Yeah.
gash on the back with the wires going towards from the lips to the gash in the back of the head. It's pretty impressive.
Wow. Yeah, these are great.
It was also
I don't know if
sculpted
you
by
can move the
Alexander Ray.
teeth on the Chatterer or not. And are those
Hmm.
teeth made of rubber? I guess probably.
Yeah, I think that part doesn't move. It's probably just part of
Yeah.
the mask. They do have Chatter's face. First of all, I love the scar tissue that they put on the face, very close to the original. And then they also have a couple of slits in the scarring where I guess you could use to see through because you have to be able to walk around with a mask.
Oh yeah. Well, geez, if it's as tough as the Hellraiser one Chatterer that Nicholas Vince had to wear, that would be pretty rough getting
Poor
around.
bastard.
Yeah, you better not try to drive with that on.
Yeah. So that's cool. That's Trick or Treat Studios. They got a lot of other
Yeah.
properties, including Gwar.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah. They made the
they have,
Guar figures.
and they also have the Gwar odorous retro mask. That's also one of
Yeah.
those vacuum form masks. That's pretty
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
It says here, copyright 2025, Slave Pit Incorporated. I guess that's the company that
Yeah, that's Guar's
handles the
company.
merchandising. Yeah. Awesome, awesome. Hail to the Scumdog. Yeah, remember that Hellraiser Revival Discord server?
Yeah.
They've been doing all those like mini interviews with people related to the Hellraiser world. And they've got a few more. Latest one, I think, is that Kevin Thompson, artist that did the concept art for all the Cenobites and the 2022 Hellraiser. So we included on the show notes a link to the YouTube video that shows all the images and
Yeah, it looks
also
like
the
it's
Discord.
11 minutes long.
Yeah, they made a video with some of the Ben Lovett's Hellraiser music for that. It starts with little schematics and how you could feed the box. So when the blade comes out and it gets the person holding it, that blood goes into the box and activates it. Some of this stuff, I don't think it actually made it to the movie, but there's also some early designs for Cenobites that are very disturbing.
I'm putting it in our Barkercast recommends
Oh,
playlist.
sweet. Awesome. Awesome. Some of these Cenobites are crazy. Like some of them walk on stilts instead of legs. Very
Oh
impressive
yeah.
stuff.
Yeah, it's like they've got a whole other roster of Cenobites that they could have for the next movie.
They got the proto mother, they got the proto priest, early designs for that with showing Leviathan tech. The proto
Mm-hmm.
priest was very different from what we got. There's a lot of interesting, convoluted bits of like Leviathan tech coming in and out of the torso of the pinhead priest.
Are
I
you
don't
seeing
think
the
they
Voight Torment?
Voight. What time are you at?
It's at like 8 minutes and 40 seconds.
Oh,
He's got
wow.
his head is like switched around
In a
backwards, and he's
cage.
got like a metal cage over his head, and his looks
Oh,
like his
yeah.
legs are skeletal.
Yeah. It says here that
He's pretty messed up.
between the bouts of visceral inversal, I guess that's what you mentioned, the head is backwards.
Yeah.
Voight throws a white bed sheet and bathrobe over his twisted form, cutting a suffering and sick but more human silhouette. There's so many images of Voight. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
pretty cool. It also connects it to the lore of this new Hellraiser because, for example, it says here in another image from Voight, he's an icon, a product of the liminal configuration, a living ornament, sculpture, a work of art and music that brings deep joy to other casts of Leviathan's dimension. Wow. The icon is shaped into forms of incredible beauty through the intense, constant sensation that racks their bodies. The Pillar of Souls from Hellraiser 2 was an example of an icon. Well, okay. Yeah. I mean, the actual Pillar of Souls, like the ornamental one, just shows up on Hellraiser 3, but I think I
Yeah.
know what they mean. So it expands a little bit if you read these captions because an icon would be something the Cenobites look at as a work of art in their dimension.
Yeah, and they don't understand why Voight wouldn't like the gifts that he got. They're like,
Yeah.
come on, that's awesome. I would love to have that.
Oh, there's one for Voight where instead of having that loom going through his chest, he would have these glass ampoules.
Yeah.
And it says here his next chest and back of the head is fixed with clockwork Leviathan Tech ports with glass ampoules. Dials click and turn like timers, the pressure in the ampoules slowly decreasing. Oh, wow. At certain point, the dials click, expand, and suddenly start spinning. Oh, yikes. That's
Jeez.
Kevin Thompson. You got a very dark imagination. And I love it.
Yeah. It's like, oh, too bad we could only torture Voight like once in the movie.
I actually want to watch this movie again now that I'm looking at this.
Oh yeah.
I've seen that
Well, I
movie so
know.
many times.
Well, and speaking of that, I almost got it. So here's my Hellraiser 2022 for today.
Oh, is
So
that a slip from?
they put a slip on my door, but nobody was there because it was 11 o'clock. And they're like, okay, well, you can come and get it tomorrow after a certain time. So I'll probably go there to try to get it, and it'll be out for delivery. I bet you that's what's going to happen. And then nobody will be home, and then they'll send me and put another slip on there, and it'll say final notice. And
The
then it'll go back.
German
then it'll go back to Germany again. This is actually this my copy of Hellraiser has been to Germany twice because it
Wow.
it went from Germany to New York, and then in New York the customs turned it away, and so it went back to Germany. Then they sent it back here again, and it made it through customs, and now it's just finally, getting to me, and nobody was home.
Paid some tariffs on that when you bought it.
Well, yeah, I mean, they probably had to pay extra to send it back again a second time. They never charged me for that.
That sucks that you've been waiting for that for so long, and it got
Yeah,
to New York, then went back to Germany, and now is back
yeah.
in Alaska waiting for you to
Well,
pick it up.
and it sucks for Turbine that they would have to mail it again because of our stupid tariff policies or whatever. Whatever it
Yeah.
was that stopped it in the United States and they turned it around. It's just a movie.
Yeah. So check out that Discord, the Hellraiser Revival Discord server, which
Yeah.
is dedicated to news about Hellraiser and especially the computer game that's coming out at some
Yeah.
point.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I think that they probably hoped for more news to come out, here and there so that they'd be able to talk about the game more, but we've had a couple of trailers, I guess.
One thing about the Turbine that I just wanted to squeeze in there is that thanks to Ed and Nina, they sent me images of their booklet, and I was able to. The booklet is in German, of course, but I was able
Yeah.
to find a way to use Google Translate and kind of translated that. So I was able to read the booklet, and I just sent you the translation of the
Yeah,
booklet for you to read.
I'll have to read that.
Yeah, it starts by talking about how Clive Barker decided to film Hellraiser because of a bad experience with his previous movies based on his properties. Then it
Hmm.
goes on to talk a bit about the history of the Hellraiser franchise, then the history of the rights for the Hellraiser franchise and how that changed at some point, and
Yeah.
then how Hulu got the deal done with David Bruckner and all the people that
Yeah.
got together, like the writers and the soundtrack and all that. The
I was
guy,
skimming through it a little bit before we started, and I did see on one of there it said like, "Hey, the news of your movie was a little bit overshadowed by the fact that there was also an announcement that there was going to be an HBO television series."
oh
Well, it's
yeah,
like, yeah, it's like, yeah, that was a big deal, and most people were more excited about the HBO TV series than they were for the movie. And then it turned out the HBO series turned into nothing, and the Hulu movie was great.
yeah, and I guess now HBO or HBO Max or Max or whatever they call themselves
No, I
these
think
days
they
is.
went back to HBO Max. I think they realized how dumb the Max thing was.
Oh, cool, cool. So I don't know how the hierarchy at that place is changing or anything. So I don't know if those
Hmm.
projects were shelved, like you said, if they're coming back at some point, but it's been years. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, and like they made Batwoman, they made a whole movie and didn't even bother to release it. Somebody must have a copy of that they put on the internet somewhere.
Oh, I'm sure. There must
Yeah.
be someone who knows about that. Hellraiser fans are getting a lot of interesting stuff. Another one that's going to come out is, you remember that Boom Comics had that several runs of Hellraiser comics for
Yeah.
a few years.
So now you can get a
And
Cole collector's edition with all of them put together on a Kickstarter. Boom Comics is doing a Kickstarter for a great big collector's edition with all the Boom Hellraiser comics collected into one volume.
that's right. So I think you've included a Kickstarter link on our show notes, but I don't think the project is live yet.
Yeah, I don't
It
think so
says
either.
here that it's launching soon, and I just clicked to notify me when the project launches. It's going to be called the Hellraiser Leviathan's Library on the 40th anniversary of the Hellbound Heart. Launching on Kickstarter, it collects the entirety of Boom's long out of print Hellraiser comics, along with a special volume featuring select fan favorite stories from Marvel's classic run of Hellraiser comics in deluxe hardcover editions.
Yeah, I mean it's weird to think about it. It's been more than a decade since because they feel like some new thing, but it's really been more than a decade since those came out.
Yeah. I like seeing on the image that they have in Kickstarter Hellraiser trademark and copyright 2026 Park Avenue Entertainment and Clive Barker.
Yay.
Boom Studios, Boom Comics. Click save or notify when this launches. If you missed out on the first run, or if you
Yeah.
just want a collected version, this is the thing to
I think well, collected versions
support.
is nice. I like them more than individual issues, but I bought all the individual issues because we were talking about them at the time when they came out.
I think a couple of those runs I got as trade paperbacks instead of separate issues.
Yeah, that's a good way to go. So that was kind of it for our news. I would say for site news, we still want you guys to go and vote for the character portrait. There aren't a lot of votes on there right now. As it stands, the Clive Barker self-portrait one is winning. Leroy Gobb is second, and poor Santa Claus is third. I
That's
don't know
right.
why Santa Claus is not as popular in January.
January.
He's taking a nap.
Definitely on Facebook, outside of the website where you have a poll to vote. I also
Yeah.
posted it on the BarkerCast listener group and our own page. And over there, we still have a few votes also for the self portrait.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
I
that
think
seems to
one
be
for
kind of the
Santa.
sentiment. I think that's probably what we're going to end up with. But if
Eh,
anybody wants their voice heard, then go vote on the website. And if you voted on the Facebook page, if you could also go to the website and vote there too, we would appreciate it. Just so we'd have it all kind of consolidated.
Yeah. This self portrait is not available in a lot of places. I got this off the internet and I've been looking for it, information on it. I found it on Phil and Sarah's website. And I found it on that old Clive Barker Deviant Art page, which I'm
Yeah.
sure is not even connected to Clive anymore. So those were the two places where this self portrait came out,
Yeah.
and not much else.
So it's not in any art books.
I don't think so. No, I don't. I didn't go through
Okay.
all the Imaginers, but I don't think it's there.
That would take a long time to go through those.
Yeah,
Is that
and my
all?
Imaginers are all
Right.
in like a big box wrapped in a blanket.
Oh, okay. Protected from moths.
Yeah. Well, I just don't. I haven't gotten around to finding a proper place to put them on. They're big books,
Oh,
and
okay.
they need a big shelf.
Yeah, they do. And actually most of this is the only shelf that was tall enough. Like if I'd done one lower, they wouldn't have fit in there. And I have H.R. Giger books that don't fit anywhere on this bookshelf. So they're laying flat on the bottom shelf.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. Vote for Leroy Gomm or Santa Claus or the Clive Barker self-portrait.
The poll
And
ends on February 2nd, 2026. I don't know if
yeah.
we're going to wait that long to talk about it, but probably.
Well, February 2nd is just next week.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, my
Yeah,
God.
today's the 28th, and so this is going to be posted on February 1st.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
January came and went.
I know. Yeah. Today was mailing day at work, which is like, 40,000, 43,000 notices had to go out. So it was super stressful.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And you have to send them out as physical letters, not emails or anything.
Yeah. Yeah. So we have a third party company that sends out the bulk of them, but there are ones
Jeez.
where people have to work on them. And we had over 1,000 of those. We're like, hey, something's not right with this one. You need to go visit it or take a look at it or talk to them, figure something out. Or somebody had said like, hey, my garage burned down and you guys still have it on here. So you need to fix that kind of stuff. And so
Yeah.
we had 1,000 of them like that. And now all of the residential ones got done and I'm doing all the cell towers and utility companies and stuff. So I still have 190 of them to do.
Wow. That's a lot.
Yeah.
We have some feedback, right, from other places around the
Well,
internet.
this wasn't really feedback for us. It was this. I just put feedback / questions from the internet. So one guy on Reddit, Blizzard Spawn, asks, "What are the chances of a rarities collection?" Which is like, heck yeah, that's something that actually has been talked about and almost happened, right? It was going to be the Scarlet Gospels was going to be a rarities collection, and then it was going to be Black is the Devil's Rainbow, and then
Tales of a Journeyman.
yeah, and then it ended up what they ended up doing instead was Tonight Again, which was also good.
That counts as a rarities collection because that's a
Well,
bunch of
it
stories and poems that they gathered up for that.
Yeah, but they were all like most of them had never been published before. So it's not like old stuff that's out of print that you can't get anywhere else.
Oh, I see.
They
Like
were
it's not
they
a
were mostly like
rarity.
it was new to everybody.
Yeah, it was new. You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Chiliad, the he mentions Chiliad. That is a rare thing that they published in its own book. So yeah,
Yeah.
I think they're working on it. I think at some point
Well, Chiliad's been published twice.
uh-huh.
Because once in the Revelations or Millennium book, and then after that in its own self-published like Seraphim book. Uh,
Right. But it was
yeah,
out of print for many, many, many years. So it was a
yeah,
rarity until they republished it.
yeah. But then they also published Infernal Parade, which he mentions on here. Maximilian Bacchus was published in 2009 and in their own volumes, right? So, I mean, I would like to see a collected volume of, and I've mentioned this before, of all the short stories that have just existed in compilations, like Coming to Grief, The Departed, Hermione and the Moon, and Animal Life, and Pigeon and Teresa, and Lost
Yeah.
Souls.
I know that a few years ago there were plans to release Clive Barker's Lost and Found, which was going to be a rarity book. And
Yeah.
it had those stories that you mentioned, like Animal Life, The Departed,
Hmm.
Pigeon and Teresa, Lost Souls, Heckle's Tale.
Yeah.
That was first published, Dark
That would
Delicacies,
be
right?
amazing. Yeah.
I don't know why they never really moved on with publishing it. And from what I understood, that thing was pretty much ready.
When was that announced or talked about? Because it probably has to do with changeover of staff, at Seraphim.
Well, this was like 8 years ago
Yeah.
I remember we being told that this was on the works,
Yeah.
2017. So it's been 8 years. And at the
Yeah.
time, this was pretty much done. And I don't understand how they just never really
Yeah.
published it. It was going to have everything, right? Like Jump
Yeah.
Tribe, Tonight Again was going to be in there. Even things that I've never heard of, like The Common Flesh. Oh, wait, this is from Tonight Again. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
The Adventures of Maximilian Bacchus. It was going to put all the stuff that was like out of print or published in
Hmm.
rare limited editions and put it all. It's been eight
Yeah.
years. We haven't heard anything more since then. So I still think that it might come out at some point.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, like when people talk about, like when we were talking earlier about Suntup, I mean, this wouldn't be Suntup, but if people talking about like what would they like to see come out again, if it's not going to be a brand new Clive Barker book with something brand new, that's what I want to see is that rarities collection. Hearing all of that stuff in there, like putting Maximilian Bacchus is already kind of a compilation of stories. So that's a lot. When you put all that together, that's sounds like a huge book. When a lot
Yeah.
of these stories are 30 pages.
Yeah, I agree with that. I still hold hope that all those like projects that Clive Barker mentioned at some point they'll start coming out. If there's one thing that Barker fans have is patience, that's for sure.
Yeah. Well,
Patience, faith,
they kind
and
of have to. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, but I think he hasn't had a revelatory interview with Phil and Sarah for years now, too. And those used
Mhm.
to be like every couple of months.
Yeah, that was usually a good catch up of what he was working on and what was about to come out. So,
Yeah.
and sometimes it was just Phil and Sarah and Clive talking about stuff and referencing other works and stuff. It was always
Yeah.
a pleasure to read those interviews. They were always so comprehensive and so interesting and so sophisticated. I want to see another one of those come at some point.
Yeah, those were amazing. And when we started the podcast, those interviews would be like, "Hey, there's a new drop everything. We're going to do an episode talking about this new revelatory interview with Phil and Sarah Stokes and Clive." And those were kind of highlights of our news cycle.
So,
Yeah.
hey, Phil and Sarah, if you're listening to this, give Clive a call and get him to talk
Yeah.
about this stuff.
Yeah.
I think the
Yeah.
last revelatory interview was 2022. Wow, it's been three
Yeah.
years.
Yeah. 4 years or three and a half.
It was the spring of 2022. So, yeah, it's coming up on 4 years. That's right.
Yeah. It's tough to be a Clive Barker podcast, when there's not a lot of stuff coming out.
There's Hellraiser stuff coming out, so
Yeah, that's true.
that's fun if you're a
We've got a
Hellraiser fan.
Hellraiser
And
game, and possible in the future, maybe a sequel to Hellraiser 2022 if Hulu will have the guts to make it. I hope that they will.
it's been 3 years, guys.
I know. And let them make the physical releases not just in Germany.
Yeah, I hear you on that. It bums me out that sometimes these big franchises have a revival and they do a big reboot or a big reimagining or whatever, and the movie comes out and people say, "Hey, this was fun," and then nothing else happens.
Yeah.
And it's not that I'm asking for them to like go through the route of making inferior sequels. It doesn't have to be every year, of course, but it's been 3 years. I think it would be a great time for a new Hellraiser movie to come out on Hulu. I'm sure mine's more informed than ours on this regard are probably thinking about that right now. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Well, and they teased Hell and Leviathan and stuff. If it's kind of like a reboot, then let's go see Hell and the Labyrinth.
Let's go fly through the maze.
Yeah.
I want to see weird flayed people.
Yeah, of course we can also watch that movie again, toward the 2022 movie. And that's what I think about that a lot, because much as we're like, oh man, there's no Hellraiser 11 and there's no Hellraiser 12, but it's like, we can also just watch Hellraiser 1 and 2 more.
Okay, fair. That's true. But you can only do that so many times.
No, you can't. I can do it so many times.
I don't know, man. It's been like what, 40 years?
Yeah.
In 40 years, I can't even tell you how many times I probably saw Hellraiser, but the last time I saw it, it's been a long time. The original one, at least. I think it's been a long time.
I've probably seen it like 50 times.
Oh, I think I've seen it more than that. There was a time when I watched it almost every week.
Yeah.
But then that was short-lived. I don't know.
I used to watch the Muppet movie every day when I came home from junior high.
Oh, yeah.
Because I was so stressed out from junior high and being afraid of the older kids and stuff that I'm just going to zone out and watch the Muppet movie.
That's such a pleasant thing to zone out to. It really is.
Yeah.
It's so wholesome. There's no stress. Well, there's some stress in setting up the show every night with Kermit and the Muppets backstage. It was a fun, wholesome distraction. I remember growing up watching the Muppet Show with my parents. I would sit down in the living room in front of the couch. My parents would watch. I'd be like, "Hey, Joe, it's starting a Muppet Show. You want to watch?" I was like, "Ah."
Your parents called you Joe?
No, they called me Zé. But if you want me, if you want, I can say the whole. I can say the whole thing in Portuguese. Maybe that would be more realistic. But so yeah, I would watch that, and it was fun. I always enjoyed the musical segments where you actually have puppets of Frank Oz and Jim Henson and the other guy.
Yeah,
and they're playing banjos and stuff. There's
those
a musical
reboot of the Muppet movie of the Muppet Show now on Disney Plus.
Reboot.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to watch because there's no Jim Henson, and Frank Oz won't do it without Jim Henson. So that means 2/3 of the characters don't have original cast anymore.
Is it more modernized like Muppets Tonight?
No, it's like it's the same set and everything.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Cool. They're going back to the roots.
Yeah.
Well, I don't have Disney Plus, so you'll have to let me know how good it is.
Yeah, I think, yes, we're all on board with Blizzard Spawn and wanting a rarities collection, and it almost happened, and then it didn't. So yeah, there was going to be this rarities collection. There was going to be Tonight Again, and there was going to be the book of poems, The Presence of This Breath, all coming out like 2015, 2014, something like that.
What was that last thing that was announced? Like 52 projects or something like that? Was it that ridiculous
40
amount?
something? I think it was 40. I don't know.
Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, some of those have 31 projects. That was it.
31. There we go.
You can listen to us discuss those 31 projects on episode 443.
Yeah.
That was a lot of stuff, but none of that stuff has come out yet. So
yeah, we're like,
keep
now
the
we're
faith.
80 episodes later.
Keep the faith.
Coming next, we're going to have more news and interviews. The Book Club of Blood, the next book was going to be Scapegoats. And we'll have a feature with the character portrait that you vote for. And then also we'll do Clive's Contemporaries again for 1985. And we'll have you vote for which movie we watch together. So pick a good one. Not like Invasion of the Body Snatchers. Do better.
You had a short list that you showed me where you had Cat's Eye and
there's
Day
actually
of the Dead,
there's a really ton
Ghoulies.
of good movies from 1985. So it'll be interesting to see what people pick.
In 1985, there was also Guinea Pig, Devil's Experiment, which we didn't add, but I'm not going to watch that. You ever watch the Guinea Pig series?
No.
It usually involves dismembering some actress. It's pretty wild. It's a Japanese exploitation horror film.
Oh, so it doesn't have any guinea pigs in it?
No.
Oh.
It's like found footage style, and then three men are like dismembering a woman. Obviously, everything's fake.
Yeah, that doesn't sound very fun. I've never seen any. I don't watch torture porn style movies.
Sure. But I love Ghoulies. That came out in 85, right?
Yeah, that's the one where they come out of the toilet.
Uh-huh. At least in the poster.
Yeah,
and then A Nightmare on...
Ghoulies and Critters were like rival. In my head, they were rival movie franchises.
There's that Howling 2, Your Sister's a Werewolf with Christopher Lee.
Yeah, that kind of sucks. I mean, that's my memory of it. I loved The Howling. I loved the first one, and all the sequels seem to be just terrible.
Yeah, and Life Force, directed by Tobe Hooper.
Yeah.
And if you like kaiju, isn't there a Pulgasari Korean movie?
Yeah,
North Korean movie. Where
didn't
they kidnap the director? Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy. A Reanimator, obviously. Yeah, the Reanimator.
Yeah, I don't know how easy it is to get Pulgasari. They didn't ever make an actual legitimate release of it, I don't think.
Yeah, he raised a good point. I don't even know if that's available for streaming or watching anywhere.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not going to Pyongyang.
Not a big market for North Korean movies.
Yeah, I'm not going to Pyongyang to stream it there.
Yeah. Oh, God. You can go there once. A one-way trip.
Yep. All right. So that was another episode with news from the Reef. Keep voting on that poll about the character portrait. Which one you'd like to see?
Yeah, you're making Santa Claus cry.
Oh.
And this podcast, having no beginning, will have no end. A shout out to our Patreon members: David Anderson, Eric Vanderholt, Daniel Elvin, Amanda Stewart, Bradley Gartz, Marcus, Matthew Batten, Bennett, Jesse, Clara Leslie, Timothy Raymakers, Terry Murdoch, Don Bertram Celebrate Imagination, Ed Martinez's YouTube channel, and the Now Playing podcast. Thank you for joining us, and we hope you have subscribed or followed our podcast. You can find the Clive Barker Podcast wherever you find audio. Show notes for this episode, as well as news and reviews, can be found at our website at www.clivebarkercast.com. The Clive Barker Podcast, or BarkerCast, is an independent editorial podcast and blog that's not affiliated with Clive Barker or Seraphim Inc. This is a labor of love by the fans for the fans. You can chat with us on our Facebook BarkerCast listeners group, our Facebook page, Reddit, Blue Sky, or our Discord server. Have you already bought our book? The BarkerCast Interviews Occupy Midian, available in Amazon hardcover, Kindle, and Apple Books. Join our Patreon and become a patron to get access to exclusive stuff, pick an episode topic, or maybe join in the discussion. You can also buy a t-shirt in our TeePublic store. Just go to teepublic.com/stores/BarkerCast. Leave a voicemail for us on the SpeakPipe link on our blog, and we might put it in the episode. Opening and ending music generously provided by Ray Norrish.
Thanks for listening.